What's going on, man? It's your boy PJ. I'm here with my boy Ksully.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm chilling, man.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's surreal, bro. Honestly, because like with Ksully, man, he's been with us since the jump. Like ever since we've been planning Do Over Don't, he's been part of the planning process and everything. So shout out to him for that, man. Dude, the setup.
Yeah, you like it?
All this stuff, yeah. Yeah. So how much? I mean, the monitor is crazy. Curved monitor.
Curved monitor. That's my newest addition. I had like a big-ish monitor. Like it was probably like this big. It was plenty for what I was doing, but I was like, there's no sense in like upgrading the speakers and stuff. They work fine. I know how they sound, so like what my stuff should sound like. But I was like, this could be good. It completes like the full thing. So yeah, it's pretty sweet. But
you need to step your game up, right?
Yeah.
I felt that. I mean, if you want to explain like the expenses, if you remember.
Monitors, I think $300 for the pair. This is like a $250 interface because it's got like I got one because they make like the cheap ones, like $100 ones where you just plug in the mic and like it's good. But I got one with a few inputs, so I can like hook up a guitar and a mic at the same time and like roll with that. I bought this used actually for like $500, which is like a pretty good deal because.
$500 for this?
Yeah, so because they retail for like $1,000.
Yeah, I mean it looks like it.
Yeah, this is like $100 little thing. I don't even use that much, but it's good to have. If I have literally zero ideas, I'll just start punching in random things because I don't play piano. Like I don't do that, but yeah. And then the laptop, $3K.
$3K. Hey man,
that was a freaking shot through my wallet, but my other one broke, and I was like, "Fuck it, this is gonna last me like years and years." So
it's an investment.
That's that, yeah,
you know?
That's what it's all about.
Do you record music too? Cause I see.
I do, yeah. I sold my mic actually to Jimmy James.
Okay.
You know him? Yeah. He bought my mic. He was like texting in our group chat. He's like, "Yo, I need a mic so bad. Like everyone got a mic." I was like, I'll let this one go because it was right at the beginning of like, all the COVID and quarantine stuff. So I was like, I'm not going to have anyone in here recording. I don't record myself. So I was like, it's fine. Plus I wanted a little bit of an upgrade. Still haven't got it. But yeah, I do record in here. And recently I've just had people like, they'll have their own mics and like bring it through. We'll plug it in and get going. So yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. You're 17 years old, you know what I mean? So it just goes to show you like you're just now getting into like what's set to be for a life, you know what I mean?
I hope so, yeah.
You grew up in Norwood. You played a little bit of hockey. Yep. So explain your childhood.
Yeah, so I mean, I grew up here. I've been here for 17 years. It's a busy town, I guess. Not much really changes. People are this is like known as like the town of townies. Like people here, like my dad grew up here at least, and like all my friends' parents like grew up here and stayed here. Yeah. So I don't hope to stay here. I hope to venture off and kind of move on. But yeah, it's like I like growing up here. I had good friends and stuff. Played hockey. Played a few other sports growing up. But
what were those sports?
I played baseball, lacrosse. I stuck with for a little while. Everyone played soccer when they were little. Yeah. But yeah, I stuck with hockey. And then as we talked about earlier, I did dance actually. Started that in like 3rd grade and I've been doing that since. So that was good because that was like obviously like I love music and like that was it's not, I wouldn't consider it a sport, but it's like one of those things that I can connect like music and like a extracurricular like together. So yeah, but yeah,
that's what's up.
I guess that's me growing up. Yeah.
A lot of people say though like dance is a sport. So I for me personally like. I do qualify dance as a sport.
Okay, yeah. I respect everyone's opinion. I'm not gonna like hate on anyone that says it's not. It's true. I did compete for that too. So yeah.
It's come from a football guy. So.
I understand.
But yeah, so that's what's up, man. So what got you into music?
Man, like I just remember like these specific songs, especially like Black Eyed Peas. Like I got some Black Eyed Peas albums up there, like. Just ones that I've been listening to since I was young, like when my parents playing and stuff, and just like especially when not hip hop was on the come up, but like more of the modern sound, and just like hearing that in my head was just like it was always like interesting and like especially because Black Eyed Peas experimented with a lot of like electronic stuff, so just like the vocal cuts and stuff, I was always like
into that
yo,
stuff.
this is crazy. And I think I was in 6th grade. I was just scrolling through YouTube, and there's this video of this guy like DJing on this little thing, and he mixed like 20-something songs in like 5 minutes, and I was like,
Jesus,
what the hell? Like, this is crazy. So I downloaded this app on my like family's iPad. It was like DJing, and I would just like mess around like for hours, like after school and stuff. And that's when I really got into EDM music, so electronic dance music.
Yeah.
You know, Marshmello, like Zed, like all those big guys, Martin Garrix. Yeah. So that music is like all obviously made on the computer and stuff. So I was like looking into that, watching YouTube videos on how they do that. Still thinking, you know, it's just absolutely crazy. So I had to try it for myself, and it took a while, obviously, to get, you know, to learn everything. But that was my goal. I wanted to be able to make stuff like that I had in my head, and that like to kind of match the people I was listening to.
Yeah. So would that be the reason why you chose to produce?
Yeah, that I just wanted to. I was always interested, and I just like wanted to like be in that kind of, you know, throw myself in the same category as them. I guess. Yeah.
So why not songwrite?
Not songwrite. I mean, you mean like vocals and stuff?
Well, not even vocals, just like writing music for people. Or
I have, yeah.
Okay.
Especially too with Stubborn Saul. He's grew up here, produces, and he's recently been like really banging out some stuff on like his singles and just being as an artist. But we'll make songs in here or wherever, and if you know we're just struggling with lyrics or whatever, I'll definitely like I always
give some 2 cents.
Yeah. So, but I don't really sit down and write music, but I don't know. Maybe I will. I don't know.
So, like getting back to like growing up, would you label yourself more so of an outcast? I mean, simply because you produce music. I don't know how the Norwood music scene is. But.
Yeah, I mean, most of the Norwood music scene is more like, I mean, I guess you could say like the marching band. Like Norwood is actually known for having like a good like marching band program and stuff. Yeah, so you know they win a lot of awards. So that's more where the highlight is there, and there's not a lot of kids that like produce or rap that are like super like well known. Of course, like the kids in town like know, okay, oh this guy and this guy, yeah, like yeah, but no one really that's kind of pushed it out past Norwood. But I don't know. I wouldn't say I consider myself like an outcast growing up. I kind of fit in for the most part, but even like now, like I'm here with you guys, like doing this interview. If I wasn't here with you, like I'd be making beats on my own. Like this kid's out partying right now. Like that was the stuff I wasn't really ever into. Yeah, I was always. I'm always focusing on myself more than being around everyone else. So
that's that mindset you need, man.
Yeah.
For real. Good for you, man.
Yeah,
good for you.
It.
So you mentioned that there were some kids that, you know, locally make music.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any kids that stood out to you?
Yeah, so when I was kind of like, I was starting to realize like, okay, I'm like kind of getting good at this. This was like a couple years ago, or like last year. I found Stubborn Saul, and I was like looking through his followers and like, you know, people that he's worked with, because like he was known as like the kid in the high school that was like making beats and DJing and stuff, because he was really the only one before I got into high school. And
did he grow up in Norwood?
Yeah, okay. He did. Yeah, he graduated a couple years ago.
Good to know. Yeah.
So yeah, but so I was just looking through who he was working with, and I found this one kid, MJ Maislin.
Did he also grow up in Norwood?
Yep,
okay,
grew up in Norwood, graduated the same year. Yeah. So they've been tight for a while. So I hit him up. I was like, yo, like my name's Kev. Like I make beats. Like I'm new to this, but like if you ever wanted to work, like I can send you some stuff, and like I did, and he liked it. So
awesome.
We we talked a little bit more, and I met Saul like in person, and we've all got in the studio, and we made a song. So yeah, those were the two I would say that stood out to me. That kind of also made me realize like, okay, yeah, like this is for me. Like if I'm doing this here on this small scale, like
yeah,
I definitely want to reach out more. So yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And with that, you know what I'm saying, you build more connections through that. So how's that been, like the relationship with those two guys that make music? It's
been good. I mean, we still hold a relationship, and we're still always making music, and we probably will for a while. But I don't know, and I've just always like, I'm the type of person that always want more. So, you know, not to ever leave my guys behind, like, but I've recently just been like reaching further out. So I've worked with a few producers just across the country, a couple artists too, sending beats out and doing some mixing stuff. So yeah.
How's the hustling process? I know it's kind of complicated
It's
trying to get to these guys.
I mean, it's a hustle, but you got to know like not everyone you hit up. Like I can't hit up Drake and be like, oh yo, like, let me send you beats and expect him to like be like, oh yeah, for sure. Like you got to know that not everyone's gonna say yes or gonna want to work with you. So if you go in with that mindset of like, I wouldn't say don't expect much because you got to know like that you got to be confident in yourself. But yeah, just I don't know. I'm like always true to saying what I'm doing and like, I love your music and I want to work with you, whatever, and just hope for the best. I mean, I don't know if that answers your question. I feel like I'm going off. But
it does, man. And that's gonna lead up to the next topic, like social media. Does that play like a huge role in like marketing, like your beats and stuff?
Especially for just producers in general. Like social media is huge because where you have the artists, like that's everyone's listening to their music. They're like, oh, this new song like by so and so, like it's fire. Like they got the album cover, so they're putting that to their name, and they follow them on Instagram. You're putting all their pictures to their name. But the producers, not to say that like, there's always been a thing like, oh, producers deserve more credit and stuff, and like I think they are getting more credit, but what's not happening is like a lot of producers are they're not getting that like face to name recognition. So yeah, that's where social media comes in play, and I've tried on or just made videos on TikTok, done a couple on YouTube. Definitely, I'm always on Instagram and stuff promoting my music. So that's good. It's a great way, obviously, to connect with all my fans and brand myself. That's the thing that I'm working on. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. That's what's up. So we're gonna hop into the SoundCloud. Mm-hmm. So you have a lot of songs on there right now. Your first available track, I would say, like your own instrumental beat style, Perplexed.
Yes.
But you also did like a mashup with like a little ASAP Ferg type of style. But you have more tracks as well. Yeah. So how was that like putting out like one of your first tracks?
Yeah. So Perplexed. So it's funny. My freshman year, April break, my family went on a cruise to the Bahamas, and ironically, my friend Jake that I had just like started getting close with at school was going on the same cruise, and he was cousins with, who was also going on the cruise, one of my best friends now, Aaron Megan, who makes videos and stuff, Megan on Instagram. And like he just, obviously video and music, yeah, they're kind of related, but like he's always had the same mindset as me, is like, just like not caring what anybody thinks, and like.
How's that like? Having like friends like that.
I love it. I mean, that's all my closest friends share the same mindset, like just, working on yourself and not caring what anybody thinks, and like following your passion and dreams, no matter how it is like that you have to get there, whether it is college or not going to college or like whatever it is, like we're all supporting each other like always, and that's why I have the friends that I do today. But yeah, so I had been working on like a few EDM tracks, and literally after I got back from the cruise, I sat down for like 7 or 8 hours and made that song in full. Like I had never done that before. Like an entire song in one sit down session. I remember I was in my dining room on my laptop, and I was like, I sent it to him. I was like, "How's this sound?" He's like, "Yo."
Have you made beats before? Like
yeah. Okay. But this was like honestly before I had started getting into more of the hip hop side.
Yeah.
So I made a few tweaks in the next couple like weeks or whatever. And I put it out, but no one really knew. Like, people knew that I made beats or whatever, made music. It was like, oh, yeah, like, cool. But when I put that out, I think people were like, wow, like, okay, like, he's got a little bit of talent. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, looking back on that song, it's 2 years old. It's not my best work, but that was the thing that made me, like, really not care. Because, like, EDM isn't, like, a thing that's, like, a ton of people are into, and, like, it's not, something where, like, hip-hop, like, you could say that, like, 90% of kids in high school like listen to, like,
yeah. Oh, sorry about that.
That's all good. Yeah, so I don't know, like putting that track out and doing something that was a little bit more out of the ordinary, that I was like okay with people seeing that I was doing that, like, I don't know, it made me like realize that I can keep doing it without, there wasn't like anyone that gave me a ton of crap about it or anything, so I was like, okay, like I can keep going with this. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So how would you explain your style of beat making and producing?
Definitely like melodic. You know, of course, like in middle school, I was listening to like Drake and Future and like those guys that had more like the heavy hitting like I don't know trap type stuff. And I mean, it is all like trap music, but like when like Juice WRLD got big and like Tekka and like Trippy and like
I see that
all those guys with like the melodic style, like that's what really was like, okay, like this is my thing. So like all my beats, and I never sit down and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make a beat that sounds like this, because like I can't do that, and also like what's the point? I mean, I just go with like wherever it takes me, but it always ends up being like the melody is like something that sticks out always. Yeah.
How important is it to be versatile as a producer?
It's very, very important, because you never know like when you're gonna have an opportunity with someone that's like per se maybe not in your range of style, because like if I'm only making Lil Tecca type beats and someone that sounds like I don't know, Gucci Mane wants a beat and they're like, I like your stuff, but like I'm not sure this is my style, and they got like a ton of followers, what am I supposed to say? You know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't make beats your style. Like, you gotta, I'm always trying to reach out and try different things, like just for myself, so that when those opportunities come, or you know, as they come by, I can hop on them.
Or yeah. Do you engineer music as well?
I do, yeah. All the songs that I've recorded here with, like I was talking about, MJ and Stubborn Saul, I engineered them. One big thing that I have done recently, I've been working with a folk artist out of Texas, The Last Knife Fighter.
Yeah.
So he's got an album coming out hopefully soon, but I linked up with him through a friend. And they recorded his last album in a studio and like had a technician and everyone there, but one, it's a lot of money, and two, it was like right at the start of all the quarantine thing, so like so I was able to get all those tracks sent to me through email and edit them all and engineer them all here. So
that's what's up.
So yeah, I love doing that. I do want to get better at it because I think it's something that I can improve for myself. But I also know there's a lot of opportunity, like job wise and stuff that way. So
exactly.
Yeah.
How cool is that to see like somebody from another state hit you up for it?
It's very cool. Like it makes me like, I'm like, okay, yeah, like I feel good about like my work, and like that, you know, I have the opportunity to do something like that, and then also I'm glad it opens up more opportunities for the future as well. Like I'm able to get my foot out the door halfway across the country, but you know, so hopefully that'll kind of dabble onto other people, and yeah.
That's what's up.
So get my name out there.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
To brand yourself. You mentioned before, like you said, you engineer music, you produce music. How important is it for a producer to also engineer music?
Well, it's the same thing I was talking about with versatility, like beats wise. Like I don't know if you know Kenny Beats. He talks about this all the time. He's like, you know, if you make fire beats, like that's great. There's a million people that can make fire beats, but what happens when your favorite artist is in your city and you got a beat he likes, but you don't know how to record and engineer him? She's gonna sound like trash on your fire beat with this fire artist, but like you don't know how to make it sound good. Like you gotta learn how to make it sound good. So that's very important for producers to like look into the engineering side. That's why I do it, because I know that I'm gonna have opportunities in the future that I need to, you know, I'm gonna need to use my engineering skills as well as not just making beats. So yeah.
Word. Speaking of like beat making and stuff, what's the process? 'Cause I don't think people really understand what goes into beat making and engineering.
I mean, it's different for everyone. Like I said, like melodies are like my, you know, the high point, I guess, of my beats. Like my.
Sorry to cut you off, but so when it comes to beat making, do people like with you? Do you plan ahead when it comes to like the style?
The style, not really. I'm more kind of just like, if I'm playing, sometimes I'll have something in my head and I'm like, okay, that's great, and I'll go with it. But oftentimes it does change, like in the software. So yeah, it's usually like a melody that I'm thinking of in my head, and that's where I'll start with. And then after that, I just do simple drums. I keep more complex on the instrumental side, but the drums are pretty simple and just bouncy, like feel good type stuff. So yeah. I don't know if that answers your question, because I could talk about how to make beats for hours.
I don't want to reveal too many secrets.
No, none of that.
But I mean, if you want to reveal like the type of software, because I know there are probably some producers watching.
Yeah. So I use Ableton Live 10. I got into that because that's where a lot of like EDM producers or what they're using, and like I said, that's kind of how I got into producing music. But it's funny because a lot of hip hop producers shit on it, and they're like, "Oh, FL Studio, like producers, you'll know what I'm talking about, is like the best for that," or even like Logic by Apple. But I use Ableton, and like, yeah, so that's I don't know. I've stuck with it. It's muscle memory to me. But I got tons of plugins and stuff that I'm using virtual instruments and all that to make my beats come to life, I guess. Yeah, it's
cool.
It's a lot of moving pieces. So
yeah. Exactly, dude. So when it comes to music as a whole, obviously the artist gets recognition more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about producers not getting as much credit than artists?
It is kind of. I mean, I don't like that, obviously, but also like as a producer, I do understand like why the artist gets the spotlight. Like it is their song. I just think if it's more like in the sense of, or in a case of like a artist rips off a beat from YouTube and doesn't credit the producer at all, or like, they're just saying like, oh yeah, the producer, like he didn't do that much, whatever. Like it's half the song, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like that's the stuff I hate to see, but I understand why artists do take the spotlights, and recently I've seen a lot more like producers getting credit, so that is good to see. Like on DaBaby's album, like. He had, like, Jetson Made had a feature, London on the Track had a feature, they produced their songs. Internet Money now is making their own album, which is, a label, but their main thing is, like, all their producers and stuff, so it's really cool to see because it gets my hopes up for the future that I can, get my recognition out there and stuff, yeah.
No, exactly, man. Mm-hmm. But one thing with Massachusetts alone, it's really hard to get your name out there. How do you feel about Boston not really being, or not even Boston, Massachusetts not really getting recognition for the music scene?
I wish it would get more recognition because I know, like, a lot of artists, especially ones that I've connected through, like, or with through Do Over Don't that I had no idea about before. I'm like, wow, these guys are, like, really good. They should be more on the mainstream, but Massachusetts is just tough for music. Like, I think for those people, like myself included, like I want to move out of the state.
Why is that? Why do you feel that way?
There's just not enough people here. I feel like just don't. I shouldn't say they don't have the drive that I have. Like I'm better than them, but like if you're really good at something and like you know that, like you got to take the chance and move out. Like New York, LA. Like Nashville if you're into like rock and country and stuff, like even like Florida, like there's way more opportunities, way more people that are a step up than you or whoever it is like in the industry that can give you a step up, help you out, so you gotta go there and make those connections. But I think Massachusetts will get more recognition as time goes on. I see it happening kinda, so yeah.
Awesome. How do you feel about our platform? Now we try to boost up that type of exposure for Boston artists, for Massachusetts artists, Brockton artists. I mean, there's just a whole scene.
Yeah, which is awesome. Yeah.
Which is amazing. Exactly. But yeah, how do you feel about what we're building?
Like you said, I think you said at the beginning of the interview, like I've been here since the beginning,
That's
and
great.
like I was here because I believed in this whole vision and this whole idea, and like. It's really cool now to see it all happening, and like I know that like you're making an impact because some of the things that you'll post on the Instagram or the YouTube or whatever, like artists like I was talking about that I've never seen before, they're in my playlist now. like I listen to their stuff because you guys have been promoting them, and like without Do Over Don't, like they would have had one less listener, but I'm sure I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. So you're definitely making an impact, and I love that you're trying to bring these people up that should have definitely more recognition, especially in the local community. So,
awesome, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Got you.
But so for yourself,
yeah.
Are there any upcoming projects? I know you probably have some singles on the way, but is there any, album of some sort, like a beat album of some sort that's coming out?
So beat album, that is a cool idea, but I feel like with those, it's like. People that release a beat tape, it's like how many times can a regular person listen to a beat over and over again? Probably not that many, and I understand that, but that's where I gotta be like, okay, how can I get my beats out more so that people will listen to them. So I've been talking with a few people, releasing singles. I got one with Stubborn Saul that we've recorded that should be coming out soon. That the folk album that I was talking about, that should hopefully be releasing soon, that I get credit on for engineering. Got a song with Diddy Bad, who's another artist out of Norwood. Just recorded that a couple weeks ago. So yeah, I have a few, and then also me and MJ, we're working on a whole project right now.
Awesome.
That's gonna be, that's a few months down the road. But yeah, I'm definitely like, a lot of stuff I think is gonna start coming out at once that I've had my hands on. So yeah. And then also another thing that I just launched was my beat store via Airbit, which is like BeatStars. Like, I don't know if you've heard of it, but like all the producers will know what I'm talking about. BeatStars is just like, it's a place where producers can upload and sell their beats, but it's like very oversaturated. So I found this other platform called Airbit. So that's where I've uploaded my beats, and I'm gonna keep doing it every Friday. New beat.
Awesome.
You can find it in the link in my bio on Instagram.
Ksully Music.
Ksully Music. But yeah, so that I'm also gonna start, running ads and stuff to get my beats out there more. Hopefully get some more traction. That's what it's all about. Like you've been saying, building a brand, and that's what I'm trying to do. So
it's always important, man. Always important. You're young into this, and that's the amazing part.
Mm-hmm.
You're young, so
I know I got a lot of time. Yeah.
But it's always good to start early, and just to build that way. So
yeah, I mean a lot of people don't. You can't when you're 16 be like, yeah, I'm gonna start graphic design and like this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. Like I was lucky to find my passion like so early on. Like I was probably 14, I was probably like 13 or 14 when I watched that video on YouTube, and I was like, whoa, this is really cool. And I was probably like 15 when I started producing. So I just got lucky finding my passion that early.
Exactly. But you're humbly embracing that.
Yeah, and I'm glad that I did, because I got a lot more time than a lot of people do to make something happen. So
word.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get into this new segment now. Your job is to answer questions.
3, 2, 1.
Alright, let's go. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
What's your favorite food?
Ice cream.
Explicit, ass or tits?
Ass.
Alright. What is your favorite movie?
Forrest Gump.
What is your favorite album?
I don't know. I can't answer that question.
Alright. What is your favorite song?
Right now, All Bad by Future. Lil Uzi.
What is your favorite artist?
Roddy Ricch.
What is your favorite sneaker?
Sneaker. Favorite sneaker I have is Air Max 90s.
Sober or not sober?
Sober. Think better.
What's your favorite brand?
Clothing brand, Champion.
What's your favorite TV show?
The Office.
What's your favorite snack?
Those peanut butter pretzel things.
What's your favorite drink? Like juice?
I drink water most of the time.
Favorite producer?
Favorite producer, man. Nick Mara.
Time.
Oh,
right on. Right there, let's go. Awesome. Hey, there was like one question on there. I'm like, what is your?
What does that
What
say?
do you collect?
Because it came through weird when I sent it. Show them how it looks on the phone.
Yeah.
Your phone, it looks like.
I don't know.
What does it say?
What do you collect? Yeah.
Oh.
So like, yeah.
Something you collect. That was something.
Mm.
I meant to say something you collect. That's what it is.
No worries, but you bang that out, dude.
Memories.
You bang that out, but yeah. So
I like that segment. You gotta do that with everyone.
I know. I'm already.
Yeah,
Dude.
that's what we're gonna do.
So albums. I mean, would you say like overall like there's like really no specific album?
Yeah, I mean it's usually like normally like what I'm listening to like at the time. Like I when like a big artist drops an album, like I never just listen to like, oh, there's the 3 songs that everyone's like bumping, like, oh, I gotta listen to those. Like I listen to the whole album start to finish, no skips.
Word. I know I couldn't do that.
Yeah, no, I just do, because there's always stuff that like you wouldn't expect, like that people aren't listening to or whatever. But some of my favorite albums, hate to say it, hate to be bandwagon, but Eternal Take Deluxe, like all the songs included, so fire. I love Uzi. Please excuse me for being antisocial. That
Great album.
I'm glad you agree with me. It's so good.
I'm happy you said Roddy Ricch. Roddy Ricch is one of my favorites.
Oh my god, yeah. Kirk was good. Never Is Enough. Is that what that's called? Why am I? Yeah.
Ian Dior?
Ian Dior.
Yep.
Fire album. Still listen to that for like a year and a half. Haven't stopped listening.
And Death Race for Love too, man. Don't forget Juice.
I know. Oh, Juice's new album too.
Oh,
Legends Never Die.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah. I love Juice WRLD.
Rest in peace, his
Rest
soul,
in peace,
man.
Juice WRLD.
But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here. I know we could talk for days. We'll probably have you on the podcast.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll be back so we can talk for more time. Yeah.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
Proud of what you're doing, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we're gonna end it here, guys. Make sure you check out Ksully Music on all platforms.
All platforms.
Follow him on IG,
Twitter. There'll be some stuff on YouTube, Twitch. I'm gonna start streaming Ksully Music, SoundCloud, Ksully Music.
All the above, man.
See it all.
But with that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Also follow the gang on IG. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, yo. But it's all love, man. Appreciate it. We out.